regards to Broadway beneath the Herald Square. For all the boys at 42nd Street, that I will soon be there.
Only 45 minutes from Broadway. Think of the changes it brings for the short...
Yeah, but please, please, I beg of my knees, don't buggy with old Broadway.
Broadway blossom, beware. Ah, little Broadway blossom, take care.
Just turn me loose on Broadway under a neon moon. Give me some jokes and a corny routine. Give me a popular tune to warble.
Working for an Iceman like a Ziegfeld or a Weissman in a great big Broadway show.
Show business isn't for me. I'm going back to Allentown.
They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway, on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air on Broadway. But when you're walking down the street and you ain't had enough to eat, the glitter rubs right off and you're nowhere. On Broadway, they say the girls are something else on Broadway, on Broadway. But looking at them just gives me the blues on Broadway. But how you gonna make time when all you got is one dime? Something that won't even shine in your shoes. On Broadway. Ha!
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Minskoff Theater on Broadway, the League of American Theaters and Producers and the American Theater Wing present the 1995 Tony Awards, with special guest appearances by Maria Conchita Alonso, Lauren Bacall, Alec Baldwin, Carol Burnett, Red Buttons, Carol Channing, Walter Cronkite, Jim Dale, Lawrence Fishburne, Gloria Foster, Jennifer Holliday, Michelle Lee, Lynette McKee, Robert Morris, Sarah Jessica Parker, John Cicada, Patrick Stewart, Elaine Stritch, Marlo Thomas, Kathleen Turner, and productions across America of Grease, Hello Dolly, and new shows Buskers and Master Class, as well as performances from the nominated musicals How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Showboat, Sunset Boulevard, and Smokey Joe's Cafe. Ladies and gentlemen, the shining star of Broadway's Sunset Boulevard, Miss Glenn Close.
and welcome to Norma Desmond's enormously wonderful living room on Sunset Boulevard. Now, I'm very proud to introduce my co-hosts for this evening's gala presentation of the 1995 Tony Awards, Mr. Gregory Hines and Mr. Nathan Lane.
Gentlemen.
Good evening, Miss Close. The singing butler let us in. I hope you don't mind.
No. Be my guest.
I love the staircase. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I finally got around to counting. I figured out I go up and down that staircase 12 times performance. That's 96 times every week. That's 5,984 steps per month.
Oh, start sliding down the banister. Give yourself a break.
You know, I just realized the other day that it's amazing because 21 years ago, I made my Broadway debut on a flight of stairs, only they were nothing like the ones behind me. It was in Congreve's Love for Love, and when the curtain rose, you saw me dressed in rags with a kerchief over my head. I was playing an unwed mother with a supposed newborn baby in my arms, and I was being pushed down a very rickety flight of wooden stairs by the baby's no-good father.
Oh, the no-good father. I was up for that part.
Anyway, as I staggered down the steps,
Yes.
I put my head in this bundle I was carrying. I go like this. That was my debut.
You know, it's interesting that when you made your debut, you were imitating a baby, because when I made my Broadway debut, I was practically a baby. I was 8 years old. It was 1954, and it was a production called Girl in Pink Tights.
I had 3 callbacks for that. The titular role.
Anyway, Glenn.
Yes.
The show was choreographed by a woman who is a legend among American theater dancers, Miss Agnes DeMille. Yes. Yeah, and so, I mean, no one was ever kinder to me. So it was a great honor for me 2 years ago on this show to present her with a special Tony honor in what turned out to be her last public appearance. She was a great woman. Yeah.
Nathan?
Nathan?
Well, kids, you know, it's only a 2-hour show. But aren't we adorable? We're sort of like the Mod Squad. One black, one blonde, one neurotic. Very famous, quite famous. And hey, wasn't he that rat thing in The Lion King? But you know, there's a lot of love in this room tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say to you, all of you out there nervously waiting, remember one thing: no matter what happens tonight, you're all winners, because as you know, it is an honor just to be nominated!
Nathan. You got some balance? Fine.
You gonna make it?
No, I don't mind not being nominated. It's sort of like the Nixon commemorative stamp. You can lick it, but it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So let's start giving out those coveted awards, shall we?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, now. Standing by to present the first tone of the evening is the lovely young woman who is playing Julie in Showboat, escorted by one of Broadway's most versatile performers, my friend and co-star in Barnum.
Oh, Barnum, I was that close.
Nathan!
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Jeez. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lonette McKee and Mr. Jim Dale.
you. Jim and I are honored to be presenting this evening's first Tony Award. Yay!
So let's get straight to the point. The 4 nominees for the best performance by a featured actress in a play are Suzanne Burtish for her dual comedic roles in the Moliere comedies, Cynthia Nixon as the woman indiscreetly having an affair with both the young man and her father, his father, in Indiscretions. We have Mercedes Rule for her moving portrayal of Beverly in The Shadow Box, and Frances Sternhagen as the good-hearted but gullible and duped aunt in The Heiress.
I can't. I'm too nervous. And the winner is Frances Sternhagen, The Heiress. I did it.
Oh, I am very honored and just overwhelmed. I am so happy to be in such a good play, brilliantly directed and mounted and produced, with a gloriously talented cast and splendid crew. It's a company that is a model of generosity and ability and humor. They are terrific. I'd like to send my love to my family and friends who keep lifting me up. Thank you very much.
1995 Tony Awards and Broadway across America. We're tonight in San Francisco at the Orpheum Theater. Buskers, a new Broadway-bound musical, is trying out. Welcome the cast of Buskers and Tommy Tune. The 1995 Tony Awards, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of Lincoln luxury automobiles. And by Clairol's Natural Instincts. What a rare blend of natural ingredients. New Natural Instincts from Clairol.
All of us, thank you. All of us from Sunset Boulevard are going to perform a number from our show, and it takes me a long time to get into costume and makeup, but before I do that, I have a great personal pleasure to welcome this next Tony Award presenter, a newcomer who has made this season his Broadway musical debut and got himself rave reviews, despite the fact that he's a terrible singer, he can't dance, and he never even appears on the stage during the entire show. So what is it that he's got going for him? It's that voice. Oh, that voice that we all know so well. Ladies and gentlemen, here to present the award for this year's best revival of a play, the voice that in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying guides Matthew Broderick from window washer to chairman of the board in 6 months flat, Mr. Walter Cronkite.
How does she know whether I can dance? She's never asked me. 53 years ago, 1942, I saw my first Broadway show, Ray Bolger in By Jupiter. And ever since, I've had a secret, very secret desire to be in a Broadway show. A half century, 53 years later, I finally made it. And they won't let me sing, they won't let me dance, they won't even let me show my face. Oh, well. That's the way it is. But I don't hold a grudge, so tonight I'm here pleased to present this evening's next Tony Award for the best revival of a play. And the 4 nominees are Hamlet, the highly acclaimed production imported from London. Shakespeare's melancholy Dane is memorably portrayed by British actor Ralph Fiennes. The Heiress, a Lincoln Center Theater production of Ruth and Augustus Getz's devastatingly powerful 1946 stage adaptation of Henry James' novel Washington Square. The Moliere Comedies from the Roundabout Theater Company, a pair of Moliere's classic shorter comedies, The School for Husbands and The Imaginary Cocotte. The Rose Tattoo, The Circle in the Square's compelling new production of Tennessee Williams' lusty 1951 comedy drama, starring Mercedes Ruehl. And this year, the Tony Award for Best Revival of a Play goes to The Heiress.
Producer, Lincoln Center Theater, Andre Bishop and Bernard Gersten.
Thank you for honoring our production of The Heiress. We are grateful to the talented staff of Lincoln Center Theater and its devoted board of directors. We salute The Heiress's cast, design team, composer, backstage crew, and front of house staff. Ruth and Augustus Getz wrote a magnificent play, and we thank their daughter Judy Sanger for representing them so well. But there can be no best revival without a great director. And we share this Tony Award with Gerald Gutierrez, who once again reinvented an old play simply by trusting it, and whose absolute belief in the power of theater inspires us all. Thank you.
Nathan! Nathan! Where's Nathan? Where's...
Hello, I'm Angela Lansbury. Be afraid, be very afraid. The 7-second delay means nothing to me. I'm drunk with power. What's the matter? You look like you've just seen the John Tesh concert. What's wrong?
Well, I'm just a little surprised, Nathan.
Well, I just didn't want to get caught in the same outfit as Glenn.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to get caught in the same outfit as anyone in America. Look at that.
Well, you know, if I did a somersault right now, the ratings would go through the roof.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Nathan.
Actually, I wore this in Terrence McNally's brilliant play, Love, Valor, Compassion, in which I played the... in which I played the world's greatest expert on musicals, but I happen to be one in real life, too.
Really?
And do you know that the musical from which we're about to see an excerpt, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, has the longest title, 8 words, of any show in history?
Well, I don't think so. I don't
No?
think. Did you ever hear of a roar of the grease paint, the smell of the crowd, or a funny thing happened on the way to the forum? Those are 10 words, each one.
I'm sorry, I left my abacus at home, Rain Man. Welcome to the Anal Retentives Convention. And now from How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, nominated for Best Musical Revival, we have Matthew Broderick, Lilias White, and Jerry Vicky in a special presentation of the closing number, Brotherhood of Man.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Wally. Even though we're all part of the cold corporate setup, deep down underneath our skins, there is flesh and blood. We're brothers. Now you may join the Elks, my friend, and I may join the Shriners, and other men may carry cards as members of the Diners. Still others wear a golden key or small Greek letter pin. But I have learned there's one great club that all of us are in. There is a brotherhood of man, a benevolent brotherhood of man. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, that great big brotherhood of man? Your lifelong membership is free. Keep giving each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, that great big brotherhood of man? No kidding! Is there really a brother? Yes, you're a brother of man. Brother. On the level of brotherhood of man. Oh, yes, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man. Yes, your lifelong membership is free. Keep forgiving each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, the great big brotherhood of man?
Oh, that noble feeling feels like bells are pealing down with double dealing. Oh, brother, you've got me, I've got you. Now, here.
And now, Mr. Red Buttons. One of America's most beloved actors and comedians. He is celebrating his 60th year by opening later this week in his own one-man Broadway show.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely delighted to be presenting a Tony. Some of the biggest people in the history of the world never got a Tony. John Wilkes Booth, who said, "Sorry, I thought he was a critic." Never got a Tony. Faye Dunaway, who said to Glenn Close, "Break a leg." Never got a Tony. Well, right now, somebody's going to get a Tony. So, the four nominees for Best Performance by a Featured Actress in a Musical are Greta Boston, who was an unforgettable Queenie in Showboat, Brenda Brenda Braxton, who is bringing down the house every night in Smokey Joe's Cafe. B.J. Crosby, who is raising the roof every night in Smokey Joe's Cafe. Billy Lively, who is rolling them in the aisles every night in, what else? Smokey Joe's Cafe. And the American Theater Wing's Tony Award goes to Greta Boston, Showboat.
Oh my God. Thank you to the Tony Nominating Committee and the Tony voters. At this very moment in a little town called Crossett, Arkansas, a ballroom is filled with my parents, sister, all 5 of my brothers, along with a host of other family members and friends. Thank you for always being my safe haven. Special thanks to Hal, Ruthie, Florence, Susan, Live Entertainment, the entire cast and crew, Marcy, Mallory, Nikki, Dorothy Stanley, Ralph, Doug, and Richie, my sister Lynette. Thank you.
Broadway across America in Los Angeles. We're currently at the Mark Taper Forum. Masterclass, a new play by Terrence McNally about Maria Callas and starring Zoe Caldwell is on its way to New York. In this scene, Madame Callas coaches a young student soprano, Audra McDonald, as Lady Macbeth.
Is Macbeth with him?
Yes.
And how does that make her feel?
Happy?
No, don't keep looking at me, Frances. Sharon, show me.
Oh,
Tell me.
really happy.
Love happy. Christmas morning happy.
Murder happy.
And what is she going to do about it?
She's gonna sing a cabaletta.
And now, Mr. Patrick Stewart. He returned to Broadway last December at his one-man presentation of A Christmas Carol. And this summer will play Prospero in New York's Shakespeare in the Park production of The Tempest.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be here. I only wish my voice had come with me. Actually, there was nothing wrong with my voice until I saw Nathan in the apron. So, the nominees for Best Performance by a Featured Actor in a Play are Stephen Bogatis, who is the weekend host in Love, Valor, Compassion. John Glover, who plays dual roles, identical twins in Love, Valor, Compassion. Anthony Heald, yet another brilliant member of the Virtuoso Ensemble. Love, Valor, and Compassion. I've got to make it. Jude Law, the very confused young man in Indiscretions. John Glover, Love, Valor, and
Thank you. Listen, all right. Look, I've been knocking around this business for 30+ years now, and I have had the good fortune to work with some amazing actors, but I have never worked with a company of actors as amazing as Stephen Bogardus, John Benjamin Hickey, Justin Kirk, Randy Becker, Tony Heald, Stephen Spinella, Mario Cantone, and the Nathan Lane. Were it not for Joe Mantello, we would not be this merry band of players, or for Terrence McNally, who wrote this funny, brilliant play that has the power to change people's lives. Thanks to Lynn Meadow, the Manhattan Theater Club. My thanks also to Scott Landis, Cindy Berger, and to my family, Cade and Jack Glover, to Bunny Dolph, and to Adam Kurtzman, spiritual rock and aesthetic consultant. Thank you.
Nathan, what happened to the apron?
Oh, the apron. Well, Walter Cronkite wrestled me to the ground for it.
Oh. Oh.
Ever since he retired, he's gotten really wacky.
You know, all of the performers on the show tonight are members of Actors Equity, even Nathan.
There's a union? You're getting paid for this?
And the Tony Awards salutes the members of Actors Equity and its president, Ron Silver, for the outstanding leadership in the theatrical community.
By the way, in an attempt to boost the ratings tonight, it's not just the Tony Awards, it's the Tony Awards Home Shopping Show. That's right, you can order anything you see in Norma Desmond's mansion by calling 1-800-DEAD-MONKEY. That's 1-800-DEAD-MONKEY. Oh, tonight's wine list.
Give me that. Here now is the finale from director Hal Prince's inspired new version of a 1927 American classic. From the stage of the Gershwin Theater, nominated for Best Revival of a Musical, led by John McMartin and Elaine Stritch, with Tammy Amerson, the show-stopping Charleston, choreographed by Susan Stroman from
Showboat.
Just like her grandpa, giving the whole show away for nothing.
Why do I love you?
What are you up to now?
Why do you love me?
Kim, you behave yourself.
Why should there be two?
You're fooling with me.
As we
Stop it now, everybody.
Can you see
Looking at You're a naughty girl.
I should be the one you pray for.
All right, I'll tell you something. I'm a lucky girl.
Oh, Grandma, I am lucky too.
I know, I told you so.
All our dreams of joy seem to come true. Maybe that's
Ladies and gentlemen, together again on a Broadway stage, Miss Michelle Lee and Mr. Robert Morse.
Rosemary.
Now I hear it.
Oh, I believe in you. I believe in you.
Oh, I love you, Mama Morse. I do. Well, Bobby and I really loved working together in the original production of what year was it?
In 1961, Elliot Lawrence was our conductor. How about a hand for Elliot?
1961 production of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why we're really thrilled and delighted to be here tonight to present the best revival for a musical.
Oh, that's
and and the nominees are Frank Lesser's Forever Young, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. And Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein Jr.'s masterpiece, Showboat.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. And the winner is Garth Drabinsky. Wait a minute. Hal Prince. Susan Stroman. Wonderful production of Showboat.
Tonight is 1 month away from the official centenary of Oscar Hammerstein, and you have truly honored Showboat. I want to pay special tribute to the estates of the original creators, Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein, and Edna Ferber for entrusting our company to this venerable work, and the inspired genius of Hal Prince and all of his dramaturgical skills, to the glorious choreography of Susan Stroman, and to all of the Live Event associates, Myron Gottlieb, my friend and dear partner, and all of our outstanding cast in Toronto and New York. Finally, Canada, take proud again, because it all began in Toronto. Thank you.
And now, Sarah Jessica Parker. She made her Broadway debut at the tender age of 11 in The Innocents, and at 12 went on to play Annie.
Thank you, and good evening. And yes, early in my career I did play Annie here in New York City, and now, 17 years later, I'm playing the dog. Well, that is in A.R. Gurney's new play, off-Broadway, Sylvia. I am playing Sylvia herself, part Labrador, part poodle, typecasting. But it's a fetching role with a whole lot of bite to it. Sorry about that, okay. I'm here to present the award for the best direction of a play, and the 4 nominees are Gerald Gutierrez for The Shattering and Powerful The Heiress, Emily Mann for his strong and loving depiction of the Delaney sisters in Having Our Say, Joe Mantello for the hilarious and yet uplifting Love, Valor, Compassion, and Sean Mathias for the farcical black comedy Indiscretions. And the recipient of the 1995 Tony Award for Best Direction of a Play goes to Gerald Gutierrez for The Heiress.
Oh, God. I'm a New Yorker. I grew up in this town, and my mom took me all my life to see plays and musicals, and I remember those performances with awe and wonder and astonishment, and all my life, I wanted to be in the theater. As I ponder the success of the Heiress, all I can tell you is every night when I watch that extraordinary ensemble of actors play the play, I'm rekindled with the same sense of wonder and astonishment and joy I felt as a kid. My mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my brother thanks you, and I most humbly thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the American Theater Wing, Isabel Stevenson.
I'm enormously proud to be president of the American Theater Wing, which in 1946 founded the Tony Awards. But once I had another life. I worked in the theater as a dancer in vaudeville. So when it comes to theater across America, that's something I know all about. We played 4 shows a day, 6 days a week, in every town from Syracuse to Seattle. I saw firsthand what theater meant to this country in terms of enlightenment and education. And that is why, through the wing, we've arranged for thousands of youngsters to see their first Broadway show. Our in-school program sends hundreds of theater professionals to meet with students in their classrooms. In addition, Broadway's leading creators and performers have taken part in our televised Working the Theater seminars, providing a priceless record of theatrical history. The American Theater Wing has been doing what it's been doing for over 50 years. And like Broadway itself, we intend, with your support, to be here for a long time.
And now, Miss Joan Van Ark. A former Tony nominee, she is now back on the New York stage in Edward Albee's Pulitzer Prize-winning Three Tall Women.
Good evening, thank you. As a former student of the Yale School of Drama, I'm thrilled to be back here in New York in Edward Albee's brilliant and challenging play in the company of 3 of the tallest ladies in their field, Myra Carter, Jordan Baker, and Marion Seldes. Finally, they didn't tell us we're too tall. I'm also thrilled to be here tonight to present the award for the best performance by a featured actor in a musical. And the 4 nominees are Michelle Bell as Jo, who powerfully sings Old Man River in Showboat. Joel Blum as the song and eccentric dance man in Showboat. Victor Trent Cook, who all but stops the show when he sings I Who Have Nothing in Smokey Joe's Cafe. And George Hearn as Norma Desmond's loyal but deadly butler in Sunset Boulevard. And the 1995 Tony Award for Best Performance by a Featured Actor in a Musical goes to George Hearn, Sunset Boulevard.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Andrew Lloyd Webber, for wonderful Sunset Boulevard and the privilege of singing Max's music. Thanks for the guiding hand of Trevor Nunn, and for the whole creative team, and this splendid cast, and the crew, and the orchestra, and the staff, and my special thanks to the hair department. Thanks to Lee and Sally Sweetland for helping me learn to love singing again. Thanks, Leslie. Hi, Belle. Hi, Mom. To Alice Ripley, the wonderful Alan Campbell, and to the greatest star of all, Glenn Close. Thank you.
Broadway Across America, Boston, and Jolie Fisher, starring with the cast of the National Company of Grease. the 1995 Tony Awards. Sponsored by UPS, moving at the speed of business. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And now, Miss Elaine Stritch and Miss Gloria Foster. Two brilliant ladies of the theater, both now on Broadway. Miss Stritch is Parthy in Showboat, and Miss Foster is 103-year-old Sadie Delaney in Having Our Say.
Thank you. That beats a nomination, doesn't it, Gloria? Good evening. Wait a minute, darling. Good evening. Now you go.
Elaine and I are here to introduce no fewer than 11 nominees from 5 different musicals and plays.
The season's most outstanding lighting, costume, and scenic designers, without whom all of us on Broadway would be in rehearsal clothes on a bare stage, dancing in the dark.
And here, other than the absent Mark Thompson and Paul Pyan, the nominated scenic and lighting designers of Arcadia, are the brilliant artists commenting on their nominated work.
Gerald Gutierrez spoke to me in images of light and reflection, so somehow I had to find a way to make a grand, restrained old New York house somehow become deeper and more romantic. So I came up with layers of lace, half-transparent mirrors, luminous walls and ceilings, and views of distant rooms.
Designing costumes for the heiress presented me with 2 major challenges: to recreate the opulence of New York society in the 1850s and to show the journey of the characters. With the superb help of my assistant, Alona Samaji, and the work of Eric Winterling and Vincent Zulu, I feel we have accomplished what we set out to do.
In designing the lighting for the heiress, I thought about the actual light in the characters' lives. Gaslight, sunlight, carriage lights, firelight, gray days, even darkness. In addition, the director, Jerry Gutierrez, had some magical images to propose. The electricians, James Maloney, Tim Palmer, and Andrew Holliday, all worked with me to make these ideas a reality.
Very often when researching a production, I look to the work of painters to explore their view of the world, and how interesting it was to have Cocteau the painter and Cocteau the filmmaker, as an influence towards this 3-dimensional world of the theatre. I hope in particular the staircase in Act 2 is an exploration, an understanding of Cocteau's more painter's view of the world. And with the opportunity to design the costumes as well, it gave me the chance to explore and control the whole palette in a way a painter might.
The basic idea was to give these extraordinary people the most extraordinary look and quality. The set encouraged the use of really unusual angles, which helped the language of the lighting. We had to contrast Yvonne's darkened room of Acts 1 and 3 with Madeleine's Act 2 apartment, which had to be full of light and space.
Showboat was once in a lifetime, designing costumes from 1884 to 1927, here at Barbara Terrace as well as Vincent's and Live End in Toronto. The costumes were executed with the help of my collaborators, Rod and Bob Jackson and Janet Brown. My special thanks to Eugene Lee and Richard Pilbo for making me look terrific, and of course to Hal Prince.
Sunset Boulevard on Broadway would not have happened without the expertise of Peter Gould, my associate designer, who unfortunately passed away just prior to the New York opening. This is really for Peter.
What interests me is working very closely with the actors, the director, the costume makers, to create believable characters, people who have a past and a future. And on Sunset Boulevard, I was working with people who were not just the best on Broadway, but the best in the world. And it was a total pleasure from beginning to end.
Sunset was a very challenging show. The lighting approach was a film noir, black and white with a touch of Technicolor. This was created with the help of some wonderful people out there in the dark. Vivian Leone, Rick Baxter, and Richard Knight. Many thanks.
And the winner is Andrew Bridge, Sunset Boulevard.
Next, the Tony for Best Costume Design goes to Florence Klotz, Showboat.
And finally, the winner for Best Scenic Design is John Napier, Sunset Boulevard.
Our congratulations to all of the winners.
And just for a change, all of the losers. Good night.
Sunset Boulevard, nominated for Best Musical, is about a reclusive one-time film star of silent movies, Norma Desmond, who by the 1950s is living alone and forgotten in a crumbling Sunset Boulevard mansion.
In this scene from the musical, she returns after decades to see Cecil B. DeMille of Paramount Studios, the scene of her long-ago triumphs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Glenn Close as Norma Desmond and the cast of Sunset Boulevard.
Miss Desmond! Up here, Miss Desmond! It's me, Hawkeye!
Hawkeye! Well, hello!
Let's get a look at you!
I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The cardboard trees, the painted seas, the sound here. Yes, a world to rediscover. But I'm not in any hurry. And I need a moment. The whispered conversations in overcrowded hallways. The atmosphere as thrilling here as always. Feel the early morning madness. Feel the magic in the making. Why, everything's as if we never said goodbye. I'm coming out of makeup. The lights already burning. Not long until the cameras will start turning. And the early morning madness and the magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. I don't want to be alone. That's all in the past. This world's waited long enough. I've come home at last. And this time will be bigger and brighter than we knew it. So watch me fly in overcrowded hallways. So much to say, not just today, but always. I will have anybody madness. We'll have magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. We taught the world new ways to dream.
Stay tuned for Lawrence Fishburne, Alec Baldwin, and Kathleen Turner on the 1995 Tony Awards. And now, Maria Conchita Alonso and John Cicada. She is Broadway's newest Spider-Woman in the Tony Award-winning Kiss of the Spider-Woman. He is the sensational young Grammy Award-winning singer who is about to make his Broadway debut in Greece.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm born in Cuba, raised in Venezuela.
And I was born in Cuba and raised in Miami.
And who would have said that we were going to end up here on Broadway? This is wonderful.
No, it's great.
But tonight, we are here to talk about the nominees for the best choreography. And they are Bob Evian for his dancing young movie hopefuls in Sunset Boulevard. Wayne Cilento for his toe-tapping secretaries and corporation executives in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Joey McNeely for his imaginative...
That's it, imaginative.
Thank you. High-energy jazz dancing in Smokey Joe's Cafe. And Susan Stroman for everything from Life Upon the Wicked Stage to Kim's Charleston in Showboat.
Okay. And the winner of the American Theater Wing's Tony Award is...
Just pull it.
Yeah, got it.
Pull it here.
Susan Stroman for Showboat.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to all the folks at Live Entertainment, to my producer, Garth Drabinsky, to the brilliant Hal Prince. Thank you for dancing with me on that levee. Thank you to my dance ranger, David Crane, and to my big dance maintenance department, both here and in Toronto, especially to my first assistant, Tara Young. Thank you so much to all the dancers in Showboat, and a big special heartfelt thanks to the singers in Showboat who never thought they'd be dancing on Broadway. You are. Thank you so much. Here's to Life Upon the Wicked Stage. I'm so proud to be a part of this Broadway community. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Lawrence Fishburne, the winner of the 1992 Tony Award for his unforgettable portrayal of Sterling Johnson in August Wilson's 2 Trains Running.
Thank you and good evening. I am honored tonight to be presenting the 1995 Tony Award for the best performance by a leading actress in a play. And the 4 enormously talented nominees are Mary Alice for her feisty performance as 101-year-old Bessie Delaney in Having Our Say, Eileen Atkins as the slyly scheming aunt in Indiscretions, Sherry Jones as the cruelly deceived heiress in The Heiress, and Helen Mirren as the lovelorn country wife in A Month in the Country. And the Tony Award goes to Sherry Jones. Yeah.
It has been a sublime privilege and fun to be associated with Mary Alice, Eileen Atkins, and Helen Mirren. Thank you. Thelma Cherry, Ruby Crider, Colleen Dewhurst, thank you. My loved ones in Paris, Tennessee, my friends across the nation, especially at the American Repertory Theater, the Goodman Theater, Circle Rep, Lincoln Center, my friends and colleagues on the Heiress, Jerry Gutierrez and the Getzes, and Mary, thank you. This is a spring I shall never forget. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alec Baldwin. He made his Broadway debut in 1986 in Joe Organ's black comedy Loot, and won a Tony nomination as Stanley Kowalski in the famed 1992 revival of Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire.
Thank you and good evening. Between them, the nominees in this category have been responsible for many of Broadway's greatest successes, including Phantom of the Opera, Guys and Dolls, Cats, and The Who's Tommy. I've been asked to hand out the award for Best Direction in a Musical, and the nominees, all four of whom did truly brilliant jobs, are Des McAnuff for his high-energy, high-tech revival of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Trevor Nunn, the distinguished British director who originally staged the musical in London, for Sunset Boulevard. Harold Prince for his astonishingly inventive landmark revival of Showboat. And Jerry Zaks for the non-stop, hand-clapping, foot-stomping Smokey Joe's Cafe. And the winner is Harold Prince for Showboat.
Thanks to Oscar Hammerstein and Jerome Kern for reinventing the musical. To John McGlynn, whose scholarship made my job so much easier. To Garth Drabinsky and the gang at Live Entertainment for so much creativity, so much enthusiasm, and for seeing that we all traveled first class. To Elaine Stritch, whose interpretation is one of the backbones of this production, and who's never missed a performance on Broadway. And to 73 actors in New York and in Toronto who are among the best I've ever been privileged to work with. Thank you.
Good evening again. The 1995 recipient of the Tony Award given each year to an outstanding regional theater is the Goodspeed Opera House of East Haddam, Connecticut, acclaimed both for its development of new musicals that have later gone on to Broadway, like Man of La Mancha, Shenandoah, and Annie, and its brilliant revivals. The Goodspeed is one of regional theater's greatest success stories. With this award, too, goes a grant of $25,000 from RCA Victor Bertelsmann Entertainment Group. And here now to accept the award is Mr. Michael Price, the Goodspeed's executive director since 1957. Michael, congratulations, the stage is yours.
From Sue Frost, our associate producer, and all of us at Goodspeed, a big thank you to RCA, the American Theater Critics Association, and the American Theater Wing. Like a ball club, the Goodspeed fields a talented team of theater artists. And we have hits, we have runs, and we have errors. But above all, we have the fans in the stands, our loyal audiences, our dedicated board of trustees, the National Endowment for the Arts, and Senator Christopher Dodd and Governor John Rowland and the citizens of Connecticut who make our state such a hospitable home for the arts. We want to assure you that the musical is alive and well, and it sends greetings not only from Broadway, but from Chester and East Haddam, Connecticut. Thank you.
You know, Gregory, Actresses are always complaining the men get the best parts, but in the theater, they get all the best songs.
They do. They get every one.
I mean, songs we kill for.
Yeah.
Songs we probably have a secret desire to sing. There must be dozens. I mean, there must be enough to make up a medley.
When I have a brand new hairdo, with my eyelashes all in curl, I float like the clouds on air dew. I enjoy being a...
Wait a minute, wait. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
It's a great idea,
No, it's
Nathan.
like Euro Disney. It looked good on paper, but...
No, this is gonna work. This is gonna work.
Oh, no, this is all Newt Gingrich needs to see.
Would you relax?
All right, I'm frightened.
Just relax and get in touch with your feminine side.
I've been doing that a lot lately. I'm afraid I won't be able to find my way back.
I'll bring you back.
All right.
I'll bring you back. Just take a deep breath, shake it out.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Well, I feel pretty.
How pretty?
Oh, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright, and I pity any girl who isn't me tonight.
See the pretty girl in the mirror there?
What mirror, where?
Who can that attractive girl be?
Which one, where, who?
Such a pretty face, such a pretty dress, such a pretty smile.
Such a pretty me.
We're your dream girls.
Boys, what make you happy?
We're your dream girls, boy. We'll always care. We're your dream girls. Dream girls will never leave you. And all you have to do is dream, baby, we'll be there.
I'm just a Broadway baby, walking off my tired feet,
Pounding 42nd Street
to be in a show. Gee, I'd like to be
Sing it, Nathan.
on some marquee, all twinkling lights.
A spark to pierce the dark from Battery Park.
Yeah,
Way up to Washington Heights. Nathan, where you going?
I'm channeling Kirk Knob. Light the lights. Play it, boys.
You can pull all the stops out till they call the cops out.
Grind your behind till you're banned.
But you gotta get a gimmick if you wanna get a hand.
So let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender, spend a little time with me. This is Barbara's. I can't.
I can't. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter.
Butter.
Don't swing around the
Butter.
The
He
rain
sings
on my
like butter.
parade. I'll march my band out. I'll beat my drum. And if I'm found out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't make it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it.
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you.
About who?
About you.
Did he need a stronger hand?
As long as he needs me.
Did he need a lighter touch?
I know where I must be.
Was I soft or was I tough?
I'll hold
Did I
on
give enough?
steadfastly.
Did I give too much? 'Cause his is the only music that makes me.
A boy like that would kill your brother. Forget that boy and find another. One of your own kind. Stick to your own kind. Grow up!
Yes! Yes! Yes, Nathan! Yes!
God, I'm a dancer!
A dancer dances.
music and the mirror and the chance to dance.
So let us entertain you. Let us make you smile. Let us do a few tricks. We're very versatile.
And if you're real good, we'll make you feel good. We want your spirits to climb.
So let
us entertain you. And we'll have a real good time.
Eat your heart out, girls.
We'll have a real good time.
This past season, uniquely in the 49-year history of the Tony Awards, only one new musical with an entirely new score and book opened on Broadway. A musical, however, of such singular excellence that everyone involved with the Tonys agreed that it more than deserved to be honored. And so, earlier this evening, Tony Awards were presented by George Hearn, Alan Campbell, and the rest of the musical's wonderful cast to the creators of Sunset Boulevard. For Best Original Score, Music and Lyrics, written for the theater, to Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber, music. And to Christopher Hampton and Don Black, lyrics. And Best Book of a Musical also to Christopher Hampton and Don Black. A special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in the theater was also presented by Gerald Schoenfeld of the Schubert Organization to the retiring Executive Director of the League of American Theaters and Producers, Mr. Harvey Sabinson. Ladies and gentlemen, the brilliant composer and lyricist of Hello Dolly, Mame, and La Cage aux Folles, Mr. Jerry Herman.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Her Gladiola Girl was the comic sensation of 1948. Her Lorelei Lee is certainly one of the classic comic creations of the musical theater. And her Dolly Levi is a rare example of the perfect marriage of star and show. So, her dedication to her craft is legendary, and I know of no one else in the world who has given us so much joy, so much laughter, so much pure pleasure for so many years in so many theaters everywhere. It is with great honor that I present this special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in the Theater to Carol Channing.
Thank you. Thank you, Jerry Herman. I want to say thank you to you, one and all. And I'd like to begin by thanking my mother for having me. Right now, my last Tony Award, I received for being in this show that I'm in. Hello, Dolly. And right now, we're playing it in San Diego on our tour prior to opening on Broadway in October. And yes, and now, I can't believe it. I mean, can you believe it? Now, this Lifetime Achievement Award, lifetime. I mean, for my particular lifetime, I can't think of anything more soul-fulfilling that I could have done. I mean, it was the only thing to do. And achievement, apparently, is just doing exactly what you want to do. Well, I want to thank the community, the theater community. My gratitude is unbounded. I want to thank you folks for the welcome you just gave me. And I'll see you all in October.
The 1995 Tony Awards, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of Lincoln luxury automobiles. Mark 8 Town Car and the new Continental. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kathleen Turner. She won huge acclaim as Maggie the Cat in the celebrated 1999 revival of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and is now back on Broadway getting nightly standing ovations in Indiscretions.
Thank you and good evening. It's been a wonderful year on Broadway, thrilling and very busy. Despite the diehards of people who are worried about us, the New York Times reported yesterday that the past Broadway season has had its highest attendance in 12 years, and we have now broken all box office records in history. But to business now. These are the 4 hugely talented gentlemen nominated for Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Play. They are Brian Bedford, currently on location in California for his brilliant performance in the Moliere comedies. Ralph Fiennes, who may be the most unique Hamlet ever to have turned up on Broadway. Roger Rees, my brilliant and my beloved on-stage husband in Indiscretions. And Joe Sears for his multiple comic roles in A Tuna Christmas. And the winner of the 1990 Tony Award for Leading Actor in a Play is Ralph Fiennes.
This is a great honor. I salute my fellow nominees. There would be no production of Hamlet without the following people. Larry Dalzell, my English agent, who first picked up the telephone. All at Dodger Productions and the Almeida Theatre, Michael David, Ian McDiarmid. Especially Jonathan Kent, the director, and the wonderful cast of Hamlet. I am very blessed and lucky to be working with them. Jonathan, you're my heart's friend. Thank you. The rest is silence.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jennifer Holliday. She triumphed in Dreamgirls, winning a Tony as Best Actress in a Musical, and is now happily back on Broadway in Grease.
Thank you. The nominees for Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Musical are Matthew Broderick as the devious young J. Pierre Pont Finch and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Alan Campbell as the doomed screenwriter who is ensnared by Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard, Markup Jacoby as the charming Gaylord Ravenel in Showboat, John McMartin as lovable Captain Andy in Showboat. And the winner for the 1995 Tony Award for the Best Leading Actor in a Musical is Matthew Broderick. How to succeed in business without really trying.
Thank you. Well, this has been such a great time for me, and this is also great. There's Des McAnuff, our wonderful director, sitting right there, who helped me so much. And Wayne, God bless you for making dancing so much fun. And to the my wonderful company, who made me feel so welcome and like I actually could sing and dance in front of people. And thank you, Brian Lord and John Hart, Michael David, the producers. I love this show. And Abe Burrows, Frank Lesser, Joe Lesser, all of you, thank you.
Coming up next, Carol Burnett to announce the Best Musical of 1995. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Marlo Thomas. She made her Broadway debut in Thieves in 1974 and was back on Broadway earlier this season in the acclaimed revival of The Shadow Box.
Thank you. Earlier this evening, I was honored to announce that the Tony Awards Administration Committee had voted to present a Tony Award this year to the National Endowment for the Arts. The lights may be bright on Broadway, but every theatrical work starts with a shot in the dark. And in the shadowy time of artistic beginnings, the National Endowment is often the only light around. Tonight, accepting the award was its chair, the brilliant Tony Award-winning actress and our friend, Jane Alexander.
I accept your wonderful outpouring of support and affection on behalf of the National Endowment for the Arts. This year, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, and when so many in Congress seek to eliminate the agency altogether, we are most grateful for this recognition of all that the agency does for nonprofit theaters.
And now, it is my pleasure to present this evening's next Tony Award for Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Musical. The two nominees are Glenn Close as the terrifying and mad Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard, and Rebecca Luker as the girlishly romantic and later sadly disillusioned Magnolia in Showboat. And the American Theater Wing's Tony Award goes to Glenn Close for Sunset Boulevard.
Thank you, Billy Wilder and Charles Brackett, for their initial creation of Norma Desmond. Thank you, Sir Andrew, Trevor, Christopher, and Don for the brilliant collaboration that has now made her a classic role in musical theater. Thank you, Edgar Dobie, Nina Lennon, and everyone at Really Useful. John Napier for my house, Anthony Powell for my clothes, Paul Huntley and David Brown for the hair, Bob Avian and Jody for the tango, Andrew Bidge, Martin Levin and their team for the light and sound, David Caddick, Paul Bogaev for me. Oh, it's no fair. Peter Lawrence and his team, my dressers, Lynn Mann, Jim Nadeau, the Cruisin' Orchestra, my understudy, George Hearn, Alan Campbell, Alice Ripley, the entire ensemble. Steve Beers and my wonderful Annie Maud for bringing love into my life. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carol Burnett. Carol will be making her return to Broadway this fall in a brand new comedy, Moon Over Buffalo.
Thank you. Thank you. I
would have given my eye teeth if the producers would have allowed me to come down those stairs. I am very, very happy to be presenting this next award, the award for the Best Musical. The two nominees are Smokey Joe's Cafe, an evening of the songs of Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, and Sunset Boulevard, Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical adaptation of the classic Billy Wilder film. And the Tony Award for the Best New Musical of 1995 goes to Sunset Boulevard.
The Really Useful Company accepting the award, Edgar Dobie.
Thank you very much. I won't go through the list because Glenn Close has done it already, but I will say a special thanks, please, of course, to Billy Wilder for giving us the piece, and to Trevor Nunn, our wonderful, wonderful director, and to the unsung heroes of the Really Useful group who do all the work for me, Edgar Dobie, on my right here, and Patrick McKenna. Thank you very, very much. It's a great honor. Thank you.
The best play of 1995 when we return. The 1995 Tony Awards, sponsored by Nice and Easy. It works with your hair's own tone so the color looks totally natural. It's nice and easy to be natural, only from Clairol. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the great stars of American film and theater, a two-time Tony Award winner, a beauty and a legend, Miss Lauren Bacall.
Thank you. I'm very privileged to present to you tonight the final award of the evening for Best New Play of the Year. The four nominees are Arcadia, Having Our Say, Indiscretions, Love, Valor, Compassion, and the Tony Award for Best New Play goes to Love, Valor, Compassion.
Author Terrence McNally, producer Manhattan Theater Club, Lynn Meadow and Barry Grove, and Jude Jansen Theaters.
We want to thank the Manhattan Theater Club Board of Directors, Michael Cole's chairman, and the incredible people of the MTC staff, AT&T on Stage for their early support, the Broadway Alliance, It Works, Rocco Landisman, and the Jude Jansen Organization.
Thank you to a terrific ensemble of actors, the wonderful director, Joe Mantello. We're blessed that Terrence McNally has made Manhattan Theater Club his artistic home. Bravo.
Travel provided by Continental Airlines with business first to Europe. First class comfort at a business class fare. Continental, it's more airline for your money.
Most awards shows are boring, but not this one. Blockbuster presents its first music and movie awards show with performances from Boys to Men, Brooks and Dunn, Reba, and more. The top stars plus a special icon award to Stallone. William Baldwin and Cindy Crawford host the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards Tuesday.
Nicole Kidman, Jose Carreras, Chris Isaac, Seal, and more on The Late Show with David Letterman. All new all this week.